Top 10 slowest selling cars, August 2025. These vehicles are rotting on dealers' lots. They cannot sell them to save their lives. Let's run through the data, Dad. Number 10 on the list, the 10th slowest selling vehicle. It's no surprise, coming from the Stellantis family. The Alfa Romeo Giulia has a 221 days supply. There are 600 Giulias for sale, brand new nationwide right now, yet only 122 of them have sold in the last 45 days, with an average selling price just north of $55,000. That 221 days supply, Dad, that means it would take Stellantis 221 days to sell the remaining 600 Alfa Romeo Giulias if they stop production today and they maintain the same sales rate. So it would take them an awfully long time, especially if you go back and watch our fastest sellers video. It would take them an awfully long time to sell all this available inventory that they have if they stop production altogether, which, if I'm not mistaken, on the Giulia, they actually have stopped production.
They might have, I don't know. But yeah, it does not appear to be a very popular vehicle out there. The next one on the list really surprises me since, well, we're in early August. And the next one would be the Mini convertible with a 232-day supply. They have 1,585 of them on hand nationwide, and they've only sold 307 in the past 45 days. And that is one of, if not the most fun convertible vehicle to drive out there. And yet nobody seems to want one.
Nobody seems to want one, and it's rotten on dealers' lots, man. They can't sell them. Now, the first EV on this list, the Porsche Taycan, Dad. The Porsche Taycan's been on this list for many months now.
Yes.
A 234 days supply. There are 1,837 Taycans for sale, brand new nationwide, yet only 372 have sold in the last 45 days. Maybe it has something to do with the $143,805 average selling price. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe it has everything to do with the fact that it's an EV, and nobody seems to be that interested in that particular type of EV in the sports car segment. So I think between the price and the fact that it's an EV, they can't sell them, and they haven't been able to sell them for quite some time. But when they do sell them, they sell them cheap.
Speak of the devil, the number 7 slowest selling vehicle in the United States rotting on car dealer lots right now is another electric vehicle, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, with a 243 days supply. There are 23,363 for sale, brand new nationwide, yet Ford retailers have only sold 4,324 in the past 45 days. So again, let this sink in for a moment. They have 243 days worth of inventory based on current sales rates. And that's another electric vehicle that's just not selling. And then number 6 on our list, then we'll do the top 5 slowest sellers. Number 6 is Volvo, Dad. I'm not too surprised to see Volvo on this list, but I'm bummed to see the V60 cross country because, the V60 wagon. I like a wagon.
Yes.
259 days supply. There are 715 for sale, but nationwide Volvo retailers in the past 45 days have only sold 124 of these. These are some pretty abysmal numbers, Pops.
Well, I know Volvo as a brand has been having issues for the past several months. This just underscores what some of those issues are.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And quite frankly, all these vehicles that we've listed thus far, these are vehicles where you have leverage walking into the dealership to get a bigger dealer discount and most likely larger manufacturer incentives as well. Before we do the top 5, I will remind you, caredge.com/slowest. You go to that webpage, you'll be able to look at the slowest selling vehicles in your neighborhood. You put in a city and a state, and you can see the slowest sellers where you live. Dad, number 5 on the list, we've got the Dodge Hornet. The Hornet had made its way out of our top 10 slowest selling vehicles list for a long time. It used to be the number 1 slowest seller for many, many months last year, but it's back at the number 5 spot. 266 days supply. There are 2,868 of them for sale nationwide, yet only 485 of them have been sold by Dodge dealers in the past 45 days. It's not terribly expensive with an average selling price of $36,536. It's just not selling.
Yeah, it's terribly undesirable. And let's face it, it's hard to find 2,868 people that think, that's a great vehicle. I need to have one.
Another Stellantis product at the number 4 spot, Dad, the Maserati Grecale. This SUV has a 302 days supply in the United States, 644 for sale, yet only 96 have sold at about an $80,000 price point. So Stellantis doing their best to get back some market share here on the
Yes.
slowest sellers list, and they seem to be doing it. And then, data brand that is struggling mightily and has been showing up on the slowest sellers list for a while now, Audi with the A4 sedan, a 312 days supply. We're getting close to 1 year's worth of inventory sitting on dealers' lots today. 5,402 of those Audi A4 sedans brand new for sale nationwide. Yet dealers have only sold 778 in the past 45 days. Make it make sense, man. This is pretty rough territory.
Well, it's an older body style. I believe it's due for a refresh. And, well, the A4 has never really been all that popular in the Audi lineup, but this just shows what happens when you haven't done anything to really refresh a vehicle in a while.
And if you're interested in buying an Audi A4, now you know. It's been month over month one of the slowest sellers
Yep.
in the United States. And so you can take advantage of that. Bigger incentives, bigger dealer discounts. Number 2 on the list, Dad, Jaguar with the F-Pace, a 336 days supply, 2,841 brand new Jaguar F-Paces for sale nationwide. Yet retailers have only sold 380 of them. I mean, this is it's hard to be a Jaguar dealer right now looking at your lot, knowing that those vehicles are going to sit for 300 plus days.
Well, you know what? It's probably hard to be a Jaguar dealer knowing what's coming down the pike. So it's just hard to be a Jaguar dealer at the moment. And we should probably just leave it at that.
Nissan coming in with the slowest seller in the United States, folks, the Nissan Versa. This one hurts. 472 days supply. There is a significant inventory level of Versas right now, 2,369 of them for sale at Nissan dealers, yet Nissan retailers have only sold 226 of them in the last 45 days. We need affordable transportation. The Versa represents that. However, it's not selling in mass, and Nissan dealers are sitting on a ton of inventory, which should yield some pretty big incentives, some pretty big discounts. So if you're looking for a point A to point B vehicle, Nissan Versa, man, slowest seller in the US right now.
And you don't want a Mitsubishi Mirage. The Nissan Versa could be and should be the way to go, especially with an average transaction price under $16,000. So anybody looking for a new car that doesn't have a lot to spend, that should be the first car on your list, knowing that you have leverage because the dealers are struggling to sell them.
Again, these slower selling vehicles based on market day supply gives you that real insight based on demand, based on supply, which vehicles are moving fast and moving slow. So go watch our fastest sellers video and the data looks completely different. We're talking about a 20-day supply, not a 400-day supply. That'll dictate some of the leverage that you have in that power dynamic when you go to negotiate. So please do your research, be informed, and obviously check in next month when we have the fastest and slowest sellers for the month of September. Pops, as always, appreciate you. CarEdge.com/slowest for the slowest sellers in your neighborhood and /fastest for the fastest sellers. Appreciate you, Dad.
Thanks so much for having me.